Hi everyone, my name is Trevor Gordon. I'm helping do some of the social media and live promotional videos for the upcoming arts show, the April Fine Art Show. That's happening on April 26th, 27th, 28th at the Waterside Inn. You can buy tickets for the event at artsandthecredit.ca, artsandthecredit.ca. So you can actually buy tickets in advance by going to artsandthecredit.ca. If you buy the tickets in advance, you get 2 tickets for the price of 1. 2 tickets for the price of 1. So today we're going to interview Stephen Rose, who I see he just joined our lobby there. So Stephen, stand by. Stephen is acrylic. He's a watercolor and acrylic ink artist. He produces real landscapes and individual subject matter. His quote that he shared with us is he enjoys connecting a viewer to a memory or an emotion. He says that connecting a viewer to a memory or emotion is his ultimate reward. He was raised in Toronto. He has a family cottage in Muskoka, so that gives him the opportunity to experience a wide range of topography. He's from the Niagara Escarpment to the beauty of the Canadian Shield through the Muskoka region. He is a self-taught artist. He became interested in visual art through various forms in color, including watercolor, painting, pen and ink drawing. Muskoka is his inspiration for his artwork. So we're going to talk to him. So Stephen is one of the artists that is part of the Arts and the Credit event. Again, the Arts and the Credit event is on April 26th to 28th at the Waterside Inn. So let's have him join us. So all you have to do is just hit accept to that invite, Stephen. There we go. So Stephen, just rotate your camera so that we can see you.
There we go.
Hi, Stephen. I see beautiful artwork in your background. So let's be honest with each other right now. We had some technical difficulties for a bit, yeah?
Yes, we did. Yes, we have.
So Stephen, you're going to buy me a beverage when we meet together.
No, it's probably the other way around. Yeah. Anyway.
So Stephen, thank you for doing this. I know you're a busy guy, a creative guy, so I appreciate that we get the chance to talk to you.
My pleasure.
So the first question I want to ask you is, I mean, first question I have for you is, I mean, what medium do you use, and why did you choose that medium?
Well, it's not one individual medium that I do use. I would say probably about 4 or 5. I use watercolor, acrylic ink, pen and ink, which is black and white, and charcoal. Now, just over my left shoulder here, or the lake scene that you're seeing, that's a combination of all media altogether. The clouds and the white clouds in the sky are drawn with charcoal pencil. Very easy to do. The blue in the background is actually acrylic ink. The tree line there again is different colors of acrylic ink, and the rock formations, that is done with watercolor pencils. Now there's 2 colors there, but you'll see it at the show, but it's just the way that we're viewing it here. It's not, you can't really see it close up, but that's kind of generally what I'm doing there with that type of artwork.
Right.
It gives a lot of versatility, a lot of flexibility with what I do.
Now I know they can find this artwork at the Arts and the Credit event that's going to be happening at the Waterside Inn on April 26th, 27th,
Right.
and 28th. But where else can they find your work?
Well, I do many outdoor shows every year. As I had previously mentioned to you, I just finished having a piece in a gallery last month called the Jackaloop Gallery on Queen Street, and I had a piece there for showing in their gallery, a new gallery that were opening there. They were showing everybody's work there, about 50 artists for about a month. And then the last Sunday, we had an artist talk. Um, all the artists were invited to talk about their pieces and their technique and what inspired them to do those pieces. So that was a lot of fun. And upcoming shows that I'm going to be doing, well, of course, the Arts on the Credit, which is a new show for me. And when I say new, I'm also a new member of Arts on the Credit, so that's pretty cool. And where else am I showing? My next show after that one is Riverdale Art Walk with the Arts Network, and that's downtown on Queen Street. So that's and the one after that is I'm still waiting for a few more acceptance notices from other shows, but that's like I mean I can give you a whole list.
Well, can people
Okay.
can they can also find this all out on your website? Do you sell pieces through your website or your Instagram, or can they at least contact you through your website? Do you do
Oh
commission
yeah,
work?
yeah, I have my website. Everything will be listed there. I show obviously my artwork is also on the website. The originals, the prints. Yeah, all the notifications will be there. It only takes me a couple of minutes to update things, all the events, which I'll be doing in a couple of days.
Do you
Um,
uh, do you do commission work? Like, so if I say to you, you know what, I really like prints. Could you do some art of prints, or do you like to do your own thing and you don't generally take requests?
well, I'd love to accept a commission. Like I mean, I've been doing this long enough now that I'm ready to do that. It is indicated on my website in a small way, and I'm trying to get the word out through various shows that I do. That hey, I'm now accepting commissions of your favorite places or individual subject matter within the landscape. So yeah, I'd love to do a commission for somebody. So I'm very open to that. So
Okay, good to know.
yeah.
Um, do you teach anywhere by chance?
No, no, I don't. I've been asked to. I used to be a member of um, the Visual Arts Mississauga in Riverwood. I used to take courses there. I had a solo show there um, of some of my pen and ink work. I believe that was done in 2019, and I had a request from I think it was one of the senior directors there that saw my work, and he asked me if I teach. Oh, you should be teaching this. I'd love to take your class. Well, it's all well and good to find out. And I told him, well, I'd love to teach it, but then you find out all the requirements that this particular establishment has. They want 2 or 3 years volunteer work and da 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 da. So many years, doing this. So it's not that you can just teach somebody this like on the spot. Like I mean, I can, no problem, but it's just you have to go through the requirements first.
Uh,
Yeah, so, but maybe I should do some private classes, or maybe I should reach out to the OTCA and see if there might be some opportunities there. I may have to talk to Marie
yeah,
and see what she says. Yeah.
yeah. That actually leads me to my next question: is how did you get involved in the Arts and the Credit event? Because you mentioned this is your first year as a vendor, yeah?
Yes. Yeah, I've known about them for quite a while. Like, I mean, everybody searches around the website, looks at different artwork and stuff like that. And I've known about the show for quite a while, but never really applied for it because I was either doing shows somewhere in Ontario or out the east end of the city. But here I am, very close to Port Credit. I'm on Lakeshore in Kipling, which is a 20-minute drive from their location. And so, I wanted to try to start doing some earlier spring shows, and this was the perfect fit.
Yeah.
And and they're going to be having some other shows later in the year too, which I would like to get involved in as well. You try to fill in those gaps between, okay, the last big show is maybe the end of October for me, and so what happens then? There might be these little Christmas things or whatever. Some of them are worth doing. Some of them are, So you try to find out where you can, find out where your next show is. So, and this was the perfect opportunity for me to take advantage of it. So,
What was your first experience with art? Like, do you remember, like in grade school, did you have any experience from like a good art teacher, or what's your earliest memory of art in school?
well, um, I wouldn't say it was probably, I wouldn't say it would be in grade school. It was probably in high school when I started to take architectural drafting and design and stuff like, the days before AutoCAD came into play and screwed everything up for everybody. I'll explain that in a minute. But that was kind of my first experience with the the exercise of drawing itself. And so as I finished high school and went to college and university, I got my honors in interior design from Humber College, and then went on to Ryerson and graduated from architecture there. And everything, obviously, in those days for AutoCAD, everything was related to manual drawing. And so in that field, you're always doing interior perspective, um, for commercial buildings, residential, all sorts of things. And then when I finished all that, starting in my working life, I did a lot of that manually. And then when the advent of AutoCAD came along, well, that art form, which a lot of people consider it is an art form, was lost because everything was done manually, sketching, colors, everything, interiors, exteriors, all that type of stuff. Same with interior design work. All those skills were lost and everything was transferred over to AutoCAD. So that was kind of my first experience with art in that realm. And then years later after that, I started to do a lot of sketching from um, the Globe and Mail always used to have, and I think they still do. They always used to have an illustrator in there. They would illustrate some political figure or something, right? John Christian or some other high-end figure or whatever. So in those earlier days, I used to draw them by hand. I would just look at them and draw them and see how close I would get to actually doing the illustrator's work as opposed to my own. Just something to do, kill the time type. And so that's another kind of experience how I got into drawing itself. And then, I took other courses over the years. Um, there's a lot of excellent books out there on landscape drawing that I refer to. I have a really good reference library of art books in regards to that. And drawing is a lot different than actual painting with a brush on a canvas with acrylic paint or oil paint. First of all, it takes longer to do it right, where as opposed to an acrylic painter, they can do a quick sketch or whatever with a paintbrush or a pencil, and then away they go with their colors. Well, drawing is not like that. It's more controlled. Um, there's a lot of technical things I can get into, but we don't have time with that. But it just takes longer to do, and that's what I was used to, and that's what kind of reflects in my work these days. I guess the level of accuracy, I guess the attention to detail, um, obviously the use of color, and how that is reflected in what I see in the landscape. So, yeah.
When you were talking about the Globe and Mail thing, it made me think of, you probably know about this. Remember in the Toronto Sun, there used to be that artist Donato or something
Yeah, right.
that would do,
Exactly.
like, he would always sneak his bird or something into his
Yeah,
artwork.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
I
That
was
type of
thinking
thing.
about him when you were talking about political humor, because I remember he did stuff. It wasn't necessarily always political. It'd just be like the news topic of the day.
Yeah,
It might have even been like if the Blue Jays were having a home opener, he would do
yeah,
something funny, and then he would sneak in his little his birds seemed to be like his trademark.
that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just thought of that when you were talking about that.
yeah.
Um, did you? I guess the question I maybe you touched on in that previous answer is, did you enjoy art when you were in high school or grade school? Because the reason I asked that is I find a lot of artists that maybe didn't have a huge experience with art in school, but then fast forward because maybe they didn't have a lot of art then, you ended up wanting to do it that much more later on. Or maybe you had a good experience in school and that's what
Mhm.
kind of triggered your passion for it now. So I'm just wondering, like did you have good marks in art class in high school, or like did you enjoy it?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't say really. There was really art classes that I took in grade school or high school. It was more, when you get into high school, you're doing all the basic things, and then you have the option of taking all those technical courses like building construction and all that type of stuff. That's what I was kind of leading at that time. But that also led into manual drafting and drawing with architecture and stuff like that. So that would be my first experience with art in that regard.
Mhm.
And then as I got into my working life, that creative part of it got much more involved. Um, you have to appreciate anybody who has worked in that field before AutoCAD was doing all these manual things drawing wise and working with color and landscapes and all that. That's where kind of it all stemmed from. And then um, just taking other art classes here or there that interested me, and just going from there.
As we wrap up, I do want to ask, like, what can the public expect at your booth at the Arts on the Credit event?
Oh, you're going to see me there, of course.
Of
Yeah, of
course,
course.
of course. But anything
Uh,
specific that you're going to bring as we wrap up?
yeah, I'm working on a new body of work. I'm working with charcoal, powdered charcoal and charcoal pencils, black and white, just like pen and ink. So you're going to see some of my pen and ink work there. I'll probably have a mixture of the mediums, but I'm working on a new body of work with charcoal on canvas now. And I have a large piece which I'm going to be showing there. It's a landscape piece that's there's going to be many more, but that was my first large one. It's 24 by 36. Pretty interesting. So charcoal landscape. My usual medium. The landscapes, different sizes, different price points for everybody. Um, I also get my artwork sometimes printed on art cards, just like a greeting card. And I'm going to have two different sizes there available for purchase as well. And of course, I do sell my prints as well of my originals, and they can be found on my website, and go from there. So you so I'll have a nice variety of different sizes and different price points for everybody. So
So, Stephen will be at the Arts on the Credit event that is happening on April 26th, April 27th, April 28th at the Waterside Inn in Port Credit. You can buy advance tickets by going to artsonthecredit.ca. The benefit of buying those advance tickets in advance is you get two tickets for the price of one. So it's actually cheaper to buy tickets in advance than at the door. If you go to the Arts and the Credit event website, you can buy two tickets for the price of one. So artsonthecredit.ca, April 26th to 28th at the Waterside Inn. You're going to see Stephen there. His booth sounds exciting. I mean, I just love the artwork in your background. That's just beautiful.
yeah,
So as we
it's all
wrap up,
about the cottage vibe. Eh?
pardon?
It's all about the cottage vibe. The Muskoka life,
Yes,
that type of stuff.
yes. So
Um,
give your website a plug and your Instagram a plug as we wrap up.
give my Instagram what?
Share your website address and
Oh,
your Instagram handle.
yeah, my website is inspirationalartistry.ca. my Instagram handle is at 2018 Creative.
Perfect.
And that's where you can find, all the pictures and stuff that I'm working on. And I want to be posting much more often, but sometimes you just can't because life just gets in the way, of course. But if there's any other questions I can field now, is there anybody that has any questions? I don't know.
As we wrap up, they can send a message to you to your Instagram. But
Good.
yeah, that's why I know you're a busy guy, so I wanted to wrap it up. But we're going to put your bio and everything under the video. We're going to put your Instagram handle there and make sure
Awesome.
that people reach out to you. So I'm glad you were able to share your website and your handle. We're all excited to see your booth at the Waterside Inn, and we thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, you're quite welcome. And thanks very much for having me. And I'm looking forward to meeting all the new members of the Arts on the Credit. And it's not like a special show this time. So, I do a lot of art shows, but it's nice to do an indoor show every once in a while too.
All right. Well,
So.
thank you so much.
Okay, thanks. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.